And we are live. Hello, Instagram. Going live. Going live. We're going live. We're going live. There we go. Okay. TikTok live monitor. TikTok live. We're here. We're live. We're live. We're live. There's no one here, so it's okay. Cool. So, up step number 1. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. And we are good to go. Great. Okay. Cool. So the website is still not live because we ran out into several little hurdles, let's say, but we have it live on our dev environment, and we can also share with you where the scoring mechanism is at and where it's gonna be at very soon. Okay, so if you stay with me, if you bear with me for a sec, I'm gonna start sharing my screen and we're gonna be able to see that. Ta-da! Okay, so this is it. That's what the Fantasy Music League will look like. Normally from Monday top again, run into like some issues here and there, but we're getting there. So the whole point of the Fantasy Music League is what does it look like if we combine the approach of fantasy sports to music. So the way we do this is that we aggregate data from socials and from music apps, right? So social media apps, music app, from social media apps, from music apps, and then we create a score around the artist, and this score is going to be something that people compete with. Okay, this score is something that is reassessed every day, so that your artists basically give you points because they belong to a roster that you created yourself, and these points help you win rewards. You can see this with the mock data that you have on the screen at the moment, where, for example, Isla Rico would still be making you 60 points, Kevin Davey White 68, and Radio Guys 37. You see the evolution from yesterday, which is totally fine because sometimes artists will have had a concert yesterday, so they see a bump. They released a single yesterday, so there's also a bump. Sometimes there's no single release, nothing, but they got a lot of engagement, for example, on Listen, on Tidal, all the other streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. And so the fact that you create engagement means that you're still very much in the conversation, and so you participate in the economy of attention. So the fact that your performance trackers like streams and views are not as high as they used to is okay because it's balanced with the engagement that you have. And if you have, of course, huge performances and huge engagement, and so that means that you will make a lot of points. And of course, as a fan, if these artists were in your roster, then you make more points. And if you stream them, you also have a bonus. So what would it look like right now? And by the way, guys, please don't hesitate to interrupt. Send your messages here. I see that we have like almost 10 people on socials following on TikTok and Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. So you guys, like, please just send your messages while I'm talking if you have any question. So first, you arrive, you will be able to go and listen, listen.com, This is a free-to-play game. You arrive, you pick your favorite artist. Remember, it's not the most important is not specifically how much point they're making right now. The most important is if you love them, because if you stream them, you're gonna make them be more valuable. Thus, you have more chances to win the reward. What does it look like? This is a real website, just in the dev environment. First of all, you check the artists that you would like to pick. Maybe you already have the ones that you love the most. Maybe you want to know how this works. So you check who is trending, the top gainers, the losers. Again, it really depends. This is mock data, right? It will really depend on who you want to start building with. Then you will be able to play them for everywhere. This is where, as a fan, you basically influence the artist score and your own fan bonus, right? So same, there will be a way to check what other people are doing, okay? And then, of course, you can take a look at what the contest that we have ongoing would be making you, okay? So let's imagine it's like, okay, cool. It's super simple. It's way simpler than fantasy sport, by the way. So you arrive, I want to pick my artist and I want to start playing them and see if I can win some rewards. You click on play now. Here again, you're going to see some test contest, but the Listen Global contest is what's going to be launched on Monday, right? So we don't know yet exactly what will be the prizes, but this is what you will be able to see. There will be cash prizes, discounts, everything you can imagine, right? We're going to try to make it as fun as possible. So let's imagine I'm just like, okay, cool. This sounds amazing. I want to participate. The global contest is for everyone together, right? So I will start to create my own roster, right? So I click on manage roster and I want to add some of them. I want to add Correde Bello, for example. There you go. He made less point than yesterday, but he still makes point. I want to add Marta. I want to add Kevin Davy White. I want to add Radio Geist. And I want to add Five Finger Death Punch. Because remember, their score right now doesn't mean what they're going to do during the day, right? Log in or sign up. This is where I'm not going to save it because otherwise everyone's going to see my email address. But here you will save it, and that will enable you to basically enter the contest. And you will be able to know how much, like what prize you won, depending on your ranking, at the end of every week. The aim, of course, is to start adding more and more contests, which will mean that the artist point time window will be different, and so it will be more and more fun. Because basically, if you know that you want to participate in the, for example, right now, like the global contest, but we do an Afrobeat contest, for example, you see that in here, in the Afrobeat contest, only in your roster now, right, Marta will make you no point, Kevin, no point, Radio Guys, no points, Five Finger Death Punch, no point, right? So if you want to participate to the Afrobeat contest, you will need to have more than just Correde, right? That's why the type of fan you are is going to determine what you will be able to win, which in our opinion is super interesting, right? So this is what it looks like on the website. To give you a quick idea, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but how we calculate these scores, I'm just going to quickly share what the math look like in the back end, right? We basically capture data for, this is an example with some artists, right? We capture data from different platforms, right? Again, socials and music apps. And at the end, we basically create a score. That score here, 4.8, 4.7, right? You have some people doing 14 points. That will be the daily score that you guys will be able to see under your artists here. I'm going to spend too much time on it because I think it's useless to spend too much time with just me talking. And yeah, if we don't have questions, like this is not something I want to bore everyone with. So let's imagine here, I'm going to save the roster, but I can't do it, so I'm not going to save it. Here, of course, you will be able to see what are the contests available, what contests you can access depending on the week you want to play in. Your roster will always say the same. And of course, you will be able to see what your friends are doing, what your artists are doing from the main screen here also. That's it. So again, to recap, super simple. You pick your artist based on the amount of points you think they're going to make you, but also how much of a fan you are, because the second point, play them everywhere, is going to influence their value, their score, right? And of course, this is going to depend the type of contest, point 3, that you're playing, because if you play, again, an Afrobeat concert and you're an Afrobeat fan, it makes perfect sense to pick just Afrobeat artists. But if you love Justin Bieber, then don't even enter the contest with Afrobeat, or do it if you want to, but don't even, the best contest will be the pop contest and the global contest, for example, right? That's how all of this is going to be balanced, basically. So again, love the sound of my voice, and I talk too much. Do we have any question? From next week, we will try to get some guests on this, right? So people will be able to interact with also some of their favorite artists, and you guys will be able to ask more questions, and of course to jump in. If anyone wants to jump in right now because you have a question, I see, like, yeah, we are like almost 20 people at the moment watching. If anyone wants to see how we built that, has some question about the kind of prices we want to offer everyone, about why it will make sense to have to follow and to basically engage with your favorite artist, because you increase your chances to win something, please just don't hesitate and jump in. Otherwise, if you have no question, we do as always, and we're just gonna shut down in on like something like 5 minutes, so that I'm not just rambling on my own. I'm going to give it 30 seconds because I have a delay on most of the platforms we're using, to see if there is some kind of a comment or anything else. Otherwise, we'll just shut it down. And anyway, from next week is going to be more interesting because more and more people will start joining, right? So we have the artists that we have on the platform that will start jumping in and explaining why they think they did great over the last few days, how they could do better over the next days, and the kind of prizes that they participate in, basically. There we go. I'm just going to take a second here. That's the website. I hope that everyone loves the trophy. And yes, it's bouncing. I know. It's mind-blowing. Engineering-wise, we're really good. If anyone, by the way, has some suggestion regarding how the website could look like, or how we should present the numbers, for example, or the competitions, the contests, the leagues, we could call it however we want, just let me know. So a lot of people pass by, but because I'm talking to myself, of course, it's soon I'm not going to be talking to myself. I promise I will not be just demoing a video. And the more comments we have, the more engagement we will have on these lives, the more the live shows, the more gifts and surprises and surprise guests we'll be able to add here. I know it's the very beginning, so I assume that a lot of people would just pass by, which is totally fine. 2 more minutes, guys. So if anyone has a question, please jump in right now. Even like, what the fuck are you talking about, Ben? Because you just joined. Just don't hesitate. I move my hands a lot. Who do we have here? No. So it's interesting. I receive a lot of DMs. How do I convince people to put something in the group chat? I don't know. Yeah, anyhow. 2 more minutes, we'll see. After some point, I think that when we will start having more and more artists, you guys might want maybe to join these lives a bit more. Just be able to interact with someone maybe more entertaining than I am. Tac. TikTok is doing well. Seems like Instagram people disappeared, but TikTok and YouTube, let's go. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for sticking in. Yeah, no one has any question? It would be very interesting. Everyone understood exactly what I said in 5 minutes. That sounds amazing. Not sure though. So it's almost 8 p.m. in the UK. So in like 1 minute, I will shut down the live. if I don't have additional questions. But as always, please don't hesitate to of course, give us a follow, but also to start sending me DMs or asking questions, because the whole point is to try to make this as entertaining as possible. Tac, tac, tac. Yep, that's it. This is it. Cool. Okay. So there we go, guys. Thanks a lot for the ones who joined. We always get to like 20, 30 people. So thanks for spending at least a few seconds to take a look at this. And I will be live tomorrow again at the same time, 8 p.m. UK time. Bye.